All right. Hi, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. So without further ado, today we'll be talking about the lookup functions, and there are two important lookup functions we'll be dealing with. And these are the Vlookup and then the Hlookup functions. Now let's deal with the Vlookup function first of all. The Vlookup function simply means the vertical lookup functions. Vertical lookup function. How does it work? Let me just give you a little definition of VLOOKUP. All right, so it looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table and then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. So by default, the table must be sorted in an ascending order. That was the simple definition of the VLOOKUP. But let's see how to work it out. Let's see, how do we use it? All right, so whenever you're looking up, you're doing kind of like, okay, let me make it real simple. For instance, now you have a lookup table. And this lookup table has all the information. Like we have the store lookup, district, manager, region, and phone. These are all standard information that do not change. This information is used, all right, to make, all right, another information. Here's another table here that has product, store, volume, profit, manager, and phone. Now, we are going to populate this table based on, all right, we're going to fill up this table based on what we have on the lookup table. That is to say that the product, store, those ones are subject to change. The product, the store, the volume, the profit, all right, those ones are subject to change. But what we have as lookup here, they are the store, the manager, and the phone. These values, this information, these parameters are all in the lookup table. So we reference the lookup table to fill up the records we are trying to like make here. Now, what am I trying to say? Let's make it real quick. For instance, now we have for store A, we want to return the manager. Who is the manager for store A? All right, so we can tell that for manager in store A, we have Bethel. All right, for store B, who is the manager? We have Daniel. For store C, we have Peter as manager, and for store D, we have Gregory, and for store E, Stella. So that whenever we come across store A, it should quickly, automatically return the manager for us. So that's when we're going to be using the VLOOKUP function. All right, let's play it out so that we can see. It's equals to VLOOKUP. Now, check it out. The first we're going to be looking at is the lookup value. What's the lookup value? Lookup value is what the store. The store is kind of like an identifier that uniquely identifies each of these rows here based on the values that we have in the lookup. So this store here will anchor the lookup table. So we look for, first of all, the lookup value. The lookup value we're looking for is A. Now, we have the next thing, the table array. The table array, where are we looking? Where are we looking it up from here? So we select from whatever we have here, everything here, like so. And then that's it. And then we come on. The next thing is the column index. The column index. Now, we're looking for manager. A manager falls under the third column index. Lookup 1, district 2, and manager 3. So we're going to type 3 there. And then the next thing is that I'll be looking for an approximate match or an exact match. So we're going to choose the exact match because we want it to be exactly the same. So I enter. Now here we can find that for store A, we have better. All right, so for store A, we have better. All right, so we can run it down like this. We had it for Stella. The next, all of these ones are giving us NANANAY. There's something, remember what we did some time ago, and that's the absolute reference, because we've not absolutely referenced this. That's why we're having that. So what do we do in this case? I'm going to undo everything I've done here, undo, and I'll go to my better, to my VLOOKUP, and make sure that I reference this absolutely F4, like so, and I enter, so that when I run it down like this, you can tell, all right, that for store A, we have Bethel as manager. Store E, we have Stella as manager. And looking at our lookup, now we can see that the same thing. So we have store E, we have Bethel. Store B, Daniel. And that, like that, like that. Now, if you look at this particular one, we have an NA, right? Because we have F here. The F here is not in the lookup table. because F is not in the lookup table, that's why we're having NA. So what if I change this F to A, for instance, now? We can see that the value is going to change and it turns out better. So the lookup function help us to like look up stuff. All right, it helps us to look up a value from a particular lookup table, and then we can use it to like populate whatever information we want to populate. So that's exactly how it is used. Now let's do for phone number. How about for the phone number? We want to find out what the phone number is so that we can call that particular store. All right, so we want to find out what's the store, what's the phone number of that store. Okay, equals to Vlookup normally, double click, and then what's the lookup value? Store A. All right. Now the table array, of course, the table array is the lookup value. So we select here, and then we drag it like this. Okay. And then we're looking for the phone number. The phone number is where? Phone number is on column 5. So starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phone number is column 5. So we say then 5. We're looking for the exact match, so we select exact, and that's it, and we enter. So we can tell that the phone number 4566. So for store A, the phone number is 4566. And before I continue, of course, you know what to do. And I have to make sure I absolutely reference this so that when we drag down our formula like this, it affects every other person. Okay. So again, looking at this one, there is F here. There is no F in the lookup table. So that's why we're having NA. All right. So that's just that about the lookup. All right. That just that about the lookup. Now let's talk about the H lookup. Now the V lookup and the H lookup are the same. They are the same, right? Because they're used for looking up values in a particular table and then returning that value, the correspondent of that value in a new table. All right. Now the only difference between both is that one is vertical lookup. That's we're searching vertically, like we have here, vertically, like this, like this, like this. But this one, the H lookup, we are searching horizontally. That's why it's called horizontally. If you look at the data here, is what we had here that we pasted here, and then it's like the transposition, the transpose of the value that we had in the VLOOKUP. Now, because sometimes information can be arranged this way. So when you're looking up values, you have to use what? The H lookup. That's just the difference between the two, right? Now you can see that product store volume profit is kind of like it's arranged vertically. And the corresponding values are arranged horizontally, let me say. Now looking at the VLOOKUP, you can see that they were arranged kind of like column by column, column by column, and that's vertical. While in the HLOOKUP, they are arranged row by row. All right, that's why we're using the HLOOKUP. So let us see, we're looking for the manager. Okay, normally I'm going to erase what we had here so that we can do everything from scratch. All right, so we're looking for the manager. Who is the manager of this particular? We're looking at this lookup table here is also arranged horizontally. All right, so the arrangement is all that matters between two. We want to have an understanding of one, then you should have an understanding of the other. So for this particular one, the arrangement is arranged horizontally. So we do the same lookup here. What do we do? Say equals to VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, like so. I mean HLOOKUP, sorry. We're looking at the horizontal lookup, HLOOKUP like this. And then what is the lookup value? The lookup value is A, store. We're looking at store. So we pick up A here. And then we're looking at for store in the array. What's the table array? The table array is this. So we simply come here like this and then copy this like this out. And then when we're done, we're now looking at the row index. Remember that this time around, we're looking at the row index and not column index. And now we're looking at the manager here. So looking at the row of the manager, we have 1, 2, 3. Manager falls at 3. So we select 3. Then we're looking at the exact match. So we select the exact match like so, and then we enter. So we can tell that for store A, better is the manager. Looking at here, store A, better is the manager here. And of course, we know what to do. Normally, we have to ensure that we absolutely reference this cell so that we can run it down to affect other cells like so, like so, like so. So we check We check for store E. Store E is who? Stella. For store E, we can tell that the person managing it is what? Stella. So we can come here to verify. We can see for lookup store E, we have Stella there. Now for as manager here for store B, we have Daniel. So let's check it out here. We can tell it's Daniel. All right, so it goes on and on and on and on and on. All right, so okay, this time around, let's make it for phone number, and then I'm going to make it for the region. Let's make it for phone number. So the same thing equals to Hlookup like this. What was the lookup value? Store A, right? Store A, comma, and then the table arrays like this, and then this, like this. Okay. And then we are looking for what? We're looking at the phone number. So what is the row number of phone here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5. So we select 5. So we type 5 here, I mean to say, sorry. And then we're looking for the exact match. The exact match will return the exact thing that is there, right? Otherwise, if you're choosing the other option, it's going to give you something that is approximate. We're looking for the exact match, and then we okay. So we can start the phone number is correct. Double click and then see to it that we reference it absolutely like so, absolutely like so. And then we can run it down like that. So we can see why are we having NA here, because we're having F here as store, and then there is no store in the lookup table here. That's why it's all. All right, let me do one last one. That's for the region. Let's check out for the region. And can check for region. We can say that for region we do the same thing. H lookup, double click was a lookup value store, that is A, comma the table array like this, like this, like this, like this. And then the row index. Where is our region here? Region falls in 4. Okay, so row 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's row 4, and then exact match 4. And then we enter. So we can tell that for store A is in the north region. Right? So we can confirm that it's in the north region here. And then let's just absolutely reference this F4, we enter not the region, and then we can drag it like this. We can tell that for store E is on the eastern region, store B is on the north, store C in the north, in the south, store C again in the south, like that, which you can confirm here. So that's that about the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP function now. But there is something I need to say. One of the things you have to note about these two functions is this. Now, for the lookup value, it is sorted in kind of like an ascending alphabetical order. We have A, B, C, D, E, right? So that it can follow that the particular column that we use here. All right. For instance, our store lookup here is arranged in alphabetical order, and it is always the first column. Since we are making a reference at this, using this store lookup here, that is the reason it is always at the first column. You cannot put it, you cannot use this particular column. It must always be the one that you're going to be referencing from the generated table, all right, must always be first on the lookup table, all right? Even here on the H lookup here, it must always be first on the row. The first row is what we're using here. So we have store here, and then store here. Store is the first row. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to have what we're looking for, because the lookup. So we've seen the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP. These are very important lookup functions that will help you to like look up values or look up stuff. Right? You just want to check, you want to make some confirmation. Okay, you don't want to go about filling them. All right. So as we can see that as we type A, as we just the value for A store A, we can tell that the manager is what better. For store E, we can tell the manager is Stella, and that, and that, and that. So that's the set of a class for now. Make sure, as usual, go to this lecture again, and then keep practicing, practicing, practicing. And that's it. So, bye-bye.